and welcome to another episode of Apex Legends Deep Dive. And today's legend is LOBA.
I'll break your heart, and then I'll break everything else.
On today's episode, we will be looking at all the perks and details for LOBA and how to use them while in match and how each one can benefit you as well. Before we begin, I would just like to say if you're here watching this video, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking the time in your day to check it out. If you would like, hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all my content, and leave a like on the video if you're enjoying this series of Apex Legends Deep Dive. Enjoy. Alright, so LOBA also falls into the support legend role. She was introduced back in season 5 of Apex Legends, which is crazy to me because I started playing in season 4. That was a long time ago. It's pretty crazy because I remember exactly when LOBA was introduced, so pretty cool. When she launched, the lore behind her was pretty cool since her mission in life was to kill Revenant. I remember the story, because Revenant killed her family, so it was a cool segue from season 4 to season 5. It was a pretty cool little storytelling at that time. She had some, I would say she had some decent abilities since she was the first character who had the ability to teleport from point A to point B. Only downside to it at the time would be that you were pretty exposed when you threw the device, as you could not move as much as you can now. So it was a little bit frustrating for anyone playing with her. It was, they were complaining, people were complaining that her tactical was not the move, right? Her ultimate did come in handy as well though. Her ultimate was probably one of the best ones to be added at that time, since you could get loot and get certain items in a certain area. Even though you could only get certain items twice, it did include any item in it. This obviously changed later on, so obviously that had to get fixed because people had to make tough decisions either to get ammo or shields, or you could only pick 2 things at once, and if you could only get 40 bullets and that's it, nothing else, that was kind of not helpful at all, right? But luckily, they changed her and adjusted her enough to be more of a support class. She also has been been slowly pushed into that support class range to help her team out throughout the seasons. One of the best additions I think they did was you can now get ammo as much as you want from her ultimate. That was probably one of the best additions they did to her. Being able to just get as much ammo as you need was a great addition. Another thing that helps LOBA is that they put her ultimate to be available as quickly as possible. This was another addition they did. In my opinion, I will say she's gotten better from the day she was released, but again, she still remains in the mid-range area for the pick rate list, and I think, in my opinion, I think she's still a great character to have on a team. You can support her teammates with her ultimate with ammo, steal loot before other teams can get to it. You just got to make sure to use the ultimate at the right time. But after reviewing these perks, I do think they're a little bit on the weak side, and maybe with some adjustments it could play out for the better. All right, so let's do an introduction of LOBA's abilities. LOBA has a passive called Eye for Quality. This allows LOBA to see nearby epic and legendary loot through walls. This has a range that is equal to her ultimate, so it's about 115 meters or so. This allows to include red weapons as well, so the mythic weapons. It's a great way to inform your teammates that there's loot in a certain location, and also could be used as an alert system in case the item goes away. So for example, you could be looting somewhere and you see purple items or legendary items from throughout the walls. You can see everything. You could be watching an item, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go get this purple mag, right? And you run to it, and if it goes away right away, then that means someone took it, and that means hey, there could be a team here. So that's how it could be used as well. Her passive could be used for that as well. Her tactical is called Burglar's Best Friend. This allows her to teleport to hard to reach places or escape a tight situations by quickly throwing her jump drive bracelet. Cooldown for this is 25 seconds. So when you throw your jump drive, you have the option to also drop it early to teleport instantly. I think the max distance for this jump drive is about 70 meters maybe, but if you combine it with some other height buildings and maybe a zip line as well, you could obviously extend this a little bit, right? You could use your teleport to get behind enemies, but just be careful when you try to do that because it makes a distinct sound when you throw it, and enemies can track and catch you when you land. Also, make sure to remember that once you throw it, you cannot run, so make sure to always throw it while you're running, so that way you can keep running and slide away as the jump drive flies through the air. So keep that in mind. Her ultimate is called Black Market Boutique. This allows LOBA to place a portable device that allows you to teleport nearby loot to your inventory. Each friendly or enemy legend can take up to 2 items. The cooldown for this is 2.5 minutes. Now, her ultimate is a great great tool to have for any team for sure, because it can help resupply your teammates and also find items for your teammates, you know, even in the middle of a fight, right? So you can just throw your ultimate. If your teammates need ammo, they can come back, boom, get more ammo, get another bat, you know, if they haven't used, there's 2 options, you know, etc, etc. So it is a good thing. It is a good tool to have for sure for those situations. As I said before, they have adjusted LOBA, you know, throughout the seasons. Another thing that they added later on was she now starts with her ultimate 50% charge. So that is a good thing to have as well. We got to remember that when you play LOBA, you know, you'll have your ultimate pretty quickly to be able to throw it down and, you know, start looting and find everything you need to find. I could see this being why they kind of put her in the support role, you know, to be able to throw her ultimate down and help teammates find what they need, instead of, you know, having them look around and run around and trying to find items. It could be used also as a quick find tool for your teammates and yourself as well. LOBA can also steal from vaults, but if you do, it will destroy the market immediately and do a small damage to LOBA, but nothing crazy. So just make sure to use your market frequently to ensure you find what you need quickly. Let's look at level 2 upgrades for LOBA. Option 1, high value, increase tactical height and range. This perk allows you to get higher and longer range when you use your jump drive. I tested this in the firing range and there is a nice difference with this perk active, that's for sure. I noticed like, wow, you can go really far with this active. So I would say that this would be great to have a much better escape or be able to get to a higher place where the enemy cannot get to. So you can use it as as a repositioning tool, or again, if you use it as an escape, you can run away from your team pretty fast and be able to craft the banners for your teammates, etc, etc. Now, while it may not be game changing, it is a great addition for her to have as a perk, because also remember, she is a support class, so you know she has that ability to help her team and craft banners, and you know she could still run away enough to get the banners if needed. I think this would be a great, huge help for those situations for sure. Option 2, market expansion, increase ultimate range by 25%. This perk allows you to increase the range of your black market ultimate. So the range for the black market currently, without the perk being active, is around 110, 111 meters or so. So it's pretty good range for it. But with this perk active, it would increase it to about 130, maybe 134, 135 meters. So you get a little bit more coverage to use the market. My opinion, I think it's also great to have, since you could throw this on a POI and on the map and get a large area to cover for finding loot. You know, you could probably even place this in a good spot to steal loot from a fight that just happened, you know, or, you know, if you don't want to get too close to a care package without anyone risking their lives to go get it, you can reach it from a pretty far place. Now you can get a care package item. Again, not game changing, but it does fit the support class role for sure. Let's take a look at level 3 upgrades for LOBA. Option 1, tactical cooldown, reduce tactical cooldown by 5 seconds. This perk allows you to reduce the time of your jump drive from 25 seconds to 20 seconds. This will give you more chances to have your tactical ready to go when it is needed. Unlike other legends, as we mentioned before, having your tactical ready, you know, ready to go at any time is always a great addition to have while you're in a match. You know, as for LOBA, her tactical could be used either to reposition to a higher position, you know, outflank an enemy, or escape, like we mentioned before. In my opinion, I think either way is a great addition for her to support her teammates. Option 2, shopping spree. LOBA can take an extra item from the black markets. So this perk allows you to take 3rd item from the black markets. Currently, you could only take 2. Now, in my opinion, this could have been a little bit better, maybe if she could take 4 or 5 instead. But I'm not sure. I'm kind of iffy on this because I don't know if that would be too much. You know, I just don't see a great advantage in being able to take a 3rd item as much in the game. Maybe I could see this in late game, you know, but I just think it's a little underwhelming to have this as a perk. You know, maybe some LOBA mains could let me know in the comments and let me know if this perk is even worth having. Also, it would probably be more helpful for your teammates as well, maybe. So again, I could see this being used in late game for sure, being able to take a 3rd item, throw your ultimate, and then be able to steal loot from a small radius, you know, to steal from all the boxes that you're fighting from. Yeah, maybe I could see it that way, but I don't know. This one was kind of, I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, this is not great, but it is, I mean, it's great, but it's not like, you know, big time changing, right? But I don't know. We may have to keep testing this one out to see. All right, so for my final verdict for LOBA and choosing the best 2 perks for her to use, I honestly think her perks are a little bit on the weak side, you know, not giving much to work with, but she might be a legend, you know, to have perks that kind of just fit preference per player, in my opinion. So these perks are kind of just thrown out there to see, you know, which player has which style to play with, you know. Ultimately, as I see it, I would probably go with market expansion and tactical cooldown. Now, the reason I say both of these is because both perks could help the team in certain situations. So for example, market expansion, it would give your teammates a much larger area to loot from. I do like the increased height and range, but I could see this being used for players who want to be a little bit more aggressive and are going to use their teleport often. You know, if your preference is to have the quick, the long distance and the higher repositioning, if that's kind of your preference, then I would say go for it. Go for the first option for sure. But I think in my opinion, market expansion is a more support class perk to have. As for level 3, having your tactical will be much better to have because you can escape and flank enemy teams with it. But there is an exception here. I think shopping spree can be great in late game. I think in my opinion, I could see this being where, let's just put it in a situation where LOBA already has everything they need. They could get 3 items from their teammates plus the 2 they can each get, right? It sounds like it might take a little bit of time though, but meaning that each one per ultimate could get 5 items. Let's say your teammate needs 4 things. You could grab the other 2 and drop it for him, right? I'm not sure about this. I don't know how long that would take. It's a lot of communicating, a lot of, you know, and especially maybe not in late game. It just depends. Maybe it depends on the circle as well. This one's a little, this one was a little tough for me to choose. I couldn't really pick this one, but I would, if in a hard situation, I would just go with the tactical cooldown instead. But we could probably test this one out a little bit more and maybe see how it could work. But ultimately, I think market expansion and tactical cooldown would be the best ones to use for sure. Well, there it is, everyone. That is all the details on LOBA and how each perk can benefit you or not while in game. I appreciate everyone that stopped by to check out the video. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to check out all uploads, shorts, and streams. I will be continuing to the next legend, Newcastle, in the next episode. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, never stop gaming. Amaru out. Peace.